In this video we'll go through some of the options on the roughing toolpath. So this is the part that we were working on previously. So if we double click the roughing tab here from the objects window, then we can look at some of the different options that we've got. The first thing is under the depth step here. So the constant depth step here is 2.5 millimeters, so this will only produce toolpaths based on multiples of 2.5 millimeters. So that may or may not find any particular areas you're interested in. So what we can do under the Advanced tab here is we can say Machine Flatlands. So what this will do is it will machine any flat areas that it finds, even though there may not be under the 2.5 millimeter parameter that we set previously. If we want to do intermediate slices on various parts, then we can do so. If you want to area clear different things, as it shows in the diagram here, where you might want to just increase the number of cuts based on the curvature of the part. If you want to also, you can set up the exact first and final depth step and give these values here. So that's doing the intermediate slices, if we need to do anything with that. Under the profile pass here, you can set up profiling operations which will be machined after the roughing operation has been completed. So if we click on that, then we get the options here. We can do it on every slice or the last slice and so on. And because this is going to be using a profiling operation, we also have the option here of how we're going to output any cutter comp, either using the computer to work out the toolpath, the control where it will output G41, G42. We can switch that feature off completely, or we can add on wear or inverse wear, where that will add on the tool radius to the path, but it will also output a G41, G42, depending, so that you can add in or adjust the operation on the machine for overcutting or undercutting or tool wear. So those two options there, the profile pass and the advanced machining, can be very useful. There is another option that we've got which you might find of use, which is to create fixture offsets, fixture curves. So what that will do is it will avoid machining around any clamps. You can also set this up under the roughing tab here, where you set the machining surfaces, but that requires that you have a solid or a surface model of the clamp. So if you have that, it would be under machining surfaces. If you just have a 2D shape or want to create a 2D shape, then you can do that using the fixture curves here. So if I create a couple of curves, if I just cancel that, reset my view back to XY, and then I can draw a rectangle, okay, using the geometry tab here, rectangle, and let's have start point as being -10 and 80 in the X and Y positions. So that will just be one corner of the rectangle. And the opposite corner of the rectangle will be 120 and 20. Okay, so what that will do is it will just create a curve there which I can use as a fixture curve. So if we go back into the roughing operation here, I can come down to fixture curves and then switch that feature on and then select the curve. Fixture curves here, I can either select it from the model here, press enter when I'm done, and the curve height can be set so if this is something where you need it to step over or avoid altogether. If you're using this feature, then one thing that you do need to do is under the link tab here is make sure that you retract the tool to wherever you want to, be it the feed distance or rapid distance or the clearance plane. Okay, so that's now going to recalculate that toolpath based on the fixture curve, and you see how it's avoided that feature altogether. So you can have as many of those as you need. Going back into this feature here of the roughing toolpath, then one of the options that you can choose is how you're going to create the toolpath, whether you do it using climb or conventional milling, and you can machine by levels or regions. So levels will machine everything at a particular Z level, or it will machine within a particular region down to the finishing depth before it moves on to the next feature. Okay, so those are some of the options under the roughing toolpath.